let's widen this to those who observe politics in the Congress party in particular. Is the Congress party really in a position to revive Rahul Gandhi's caste pitch versus the BJP's Hindutva? Is the Congress still running short of ideas, new ideas for revival? Is organization, which Mr. Pilot spoke about, the key to the party's revival? And the elephant in the room, are the Gandhis a liability or an asset for the Congress? Sanjay Jha is someone who's been with the Congress party. He's now still, I guess, suspended. Javed Ansari, senior journalist, has covered the Congress for decades. Rajat Sethi is someone who's been associated with the BJP's campaigns. He also joins us. Appreciate all of you joining us. Sanjay Jha, I want to come to you first. You very interestingly today put out on Twitter a 5-point agenda for revival of Congress, saying they should have a shadow cabinet, have a model state which should be showcased. What do you really believe is the key to a Congress revival? Is it possible to revive the elephant?
Rajdeep, let me tell you that if the most corrupt, divisive and authoritarian government of the BJP has been so successful and continues to win elections, the credit must be shared equally between Prime Minister Modi and the Congress party. I believe in politics like in sports, your opponent doesn't defeat you, you lose it. And I think the Congress is a classic example. I was loving your conversation with my friend Sachin. He's a very dear friend of mine and I have a lot of respect for him. The truth is that, Rajdeep, the Congress needs to stop wasting its time on these usual resolutions. It is time for execution. You know, all the pontification and inclusive India, the idea of India, secularism, the minorities, Dalits, caste reservations are absolutely legitimate. But the only way you can actually change India's rather darkening and slippery democracy and its future is if you win elections. I would have liked this AICC session to be focused on, one, inspiring the cadre. I can tell you I've traveled a lot during my active period with the Congress. And I say hats off to these guys who actually go door to door and in campaign, who are not invited to these AICC sessions. They are the people that the Congress party needs to invigorate. And, you know, my 5 ideas apart, where I even talked about a bloated Congress working committee, the fact that you need vice presidents to invigorate the party, you need a more robust Sevadal. These are the big ideas that the Congress party needs to incorporate. Now, you know, if you follow this AICC session, and I support the Congress, I will continue to do so. The problem is that if you don't defeat the BJP, all these grand ideas come to naught, absolutely zero. And I feel one of the problems that a lot of people in the cadre have is, does the Congress party have accountability? When you see people repeatedly fail, are they making space for other people to come and, you know, experiment with their own leadership or their own style? I mean, these are realities. It's not being critical.
I take your point. And let me take your last point of accountability. And to you, Javed Ansari, you know, I was seeing a picture there, and maybe we'll play that picture there again. A number of the Congress leaders I saw in their pictures are politicians who've been either chief ministers in the 1990s and since suffered defeats or led their party to consecutive defeats, and yet they're still around. The truth of the matter is, some say nothing succeeds in the Congress as much as failure. You don't bring in the new guard, you're not willing to experiment enough. Where you've done so, like Telangana, you have succeeded partly. Do you believe that's a fundamental problem, that the Congress has been unable to effect a generational change?
Yes, I think I agree wholeheartedly with this. One of the major problems with the Congress party is its inability to change in time and its ponderous style of functioning. It's all very well to flag issues, to call for caste census, to, you know, Rahul Gandhi built up a whole lot of momentum with his Bharat Jodo Yatra. But they couldn't encash it in the manner they ought to have because they don't have an organization. The single biggest issue that is dodging the Congress party, continues to dodge the Congress party, is the lack of an organization. And
but you heard Sachin Pilot talk there. But you heard Sachin Pilot saying this is going to be the year of the organization. Do you believe that, or is it just
I also heard Rajiv Gandhi say in the ICC centenary in Mumbai. I heard Narasimha Rao I heard Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. I heard Dr. Manmohan Singh. I heard P.V. Narasimha Rao. I've heard Rahul Gandhi. All of them said the same thing, but nothing has changed. The big question is why? Who's stopping them from making these changes? I'm sorry, I'm being skeptical, but who is preventing them from making these changes? It's all right. Yes, I agree. The BJP, the Prime Minister is very authoritarian. You have a biased election commission. You have the odds stacked against you. But at least do what you can do, which is
Okay.
to effect a change, to invigorate the organization. And that has not been happening. From a young boy, I've become a grandfather. But nothing has changed in the Congress party.
Well, the Congress looks in that sense aging. Rajat Sethi, you would have a slight smile as you're hearing those cynical views. We've heard them before. There's a French saying, more things change, the more they remain the same. But do you sense that the Congress can still pose a challenge to the BJP given what happened in 2024 Lok Sabha? Or do you believe the Vidhan Sabha has exposed the limitations of the Congress and Rahul Gandhi simply is not the answer? Yeah, you're on mute, Rajat.
Sorry. Well, let me break it this way. So BJP RSS combination is absolutely unique in this world. This kind of a model where one organization remains embedded in the society with its deep roots. They meet every morning, has no political agenda per se, but there is a connect with the society 24/7, cross 365. And then BJP, you have those typical politicians who do their necessary politics through the year, and they tend to do hard work, organizational work, but it is genuinely supported by this parallel rail that runs along with this model. Congress doesn't have. Now you've reached to a point where Congress, with its hollowed out organization from within, with the thought process, the set of ideas which are of old generation. Today they're talking about Kham formula, which is 5-decade-old problem formula of Gujarat politics. You can't bring it and repackage it in this day and age. It's just not going to work. I think the problem of Congress party is threefold. First of all, they've run out of ideas. They have just shown complete bankruptcy. On one day, they'll be like, okay, we are the champions of minorities. The other time, they will be in double mind. Should they go out and support full-fledgedly Waqf or not? That conviction is not there. Today, we are hearing in the resolution, they are like, see, we have gone too far on the minorities. We shouldn't do that. Perhaps we should pick this OBC ticket. So this lack of conviction results in a lack of mission for your common karyakartas. You tell me, where is that zeal in a common karyakarta on the grassroots of a Congress party to fight for his life on those issues? Where is that mission statement? It is not there. And when your leader himself is seen hopping on multiple ideas, depending on his mood, you cannot instill confidence in your karyakarta. And no matter how many, and I agree with Sanjay Ji, how many resolutions you do, how many CWC, AICC meetings you do, your common karyakarta will not feel energized to work hard for on the ground and get the police beatings, ready to say no to people on the grassroots and still work hard. That formulation is not there. And on top of that, last point, Rahul Gandhi is the symbol of haves in this haves and have-nots battle. He is a princeling with a silver spoon, and he carries on. His power is unabated in the Congress party. How will he himself talk about the downtrodden of our society? That paradox that is there is so stark, so extremely stark, that will be very, very hard for him to have believability in his words. That's where I see strong contradictions, and party will have to deal with that contradiction.
Sanjay Jha, good last point made by Rajat Sethi. He says Rahul Gandhi is a fifth-generation dynast. Yes, he speaks passionately now about the caste census, but you're an entitled politician speaking about empowering people from disadvantaged groups. Is there a paradox, as Rajat Sethi suggests, or do you believe Rahul Gandhi is the right person to lead the Congress into the future?
You see, Rajat says the right thing, but I will give you an example of Donald Trump, a man who's been a multi-billionaire and owns the most glitzy five-star hotels, but is a hero of the working class and the white unemployed American in the Rust Belt. It's all about the way you position yourself and the way you have your political communication. It's a paradox, but it's a solvable paradox. Here is the point, Rajdeep. The Congress party has not won an absolute majority on its own since 1984. People don't understand that even within the party that you have been on a secular decline for a long time. I expected in this particular AICC session, from whatever I have got of it, that the entire focus should have been on how do we win this, and you will require a combination of an organizational renewal, ideological clarity, political campaign, leadership. Everybody had to be focused on how do I deliver brass tacks bottom line. Politics doesn't give you a silver medal. The winner takes it all. And that's the kind of approach you need in politics. I'll give you one example, Rajdeep. You'll find it fascinating. I agree with what Javed said and what even Rajat said. Rahul Gandhi does an extraordinary 2 Bharat Jodo Yatras, and his political brand is still down after a year. I mean, I can't imagine a single politician who would do such a mammoth, wonderful walk of such an inclusive nature, hard work, not easy for anyone to do. And the Congress and Rahul himself has allowed that advantage to fritter away. I think these are the issues. The Congress, Rajdeep, I'll be very frank with you, is an incrementalist party at its core. And it is not able to reconcile that in the age of Mr. Modi and Shah, you need to be probably more risk taking. You need big ideas. You got to reimagine the Congress. And I'll throw up one more suggestion on your show before it ends. I would request the Congress party today through your program to kindly resign from leading the India Alliance. Let the India Alliance get an Akhilesh or a Mamta Banerjee or a Mr. Stalin or Uddhav or even Arvind Kejriwal. Focus on your organization, revamp and renewal. 2025 is a year that gives you a window. You're fighting one Bihar election with the RJD being the big brother. Focus on what you need to do in the future. Spend time internally to sort your issues out. And if you have a new leader in the India
Right.
Alliance, you still be a leader of opposition. You still have 100 members in the parliament, and you will actually allow a diversity of leadership voices
many will
to strengthen
say-
the India Alliance.
Many will say that ship has sailed. The Congress could have allowed Nitish Kumar to become convener. He wouldn't
Never
have
too late.
left. Potentially, Chandrababu Naidu could have joined you, and who knows, you would have been in power
Yeah.
today. That's the nature
Yeah.
of Indian politics.
Yeah.
As some say, Congress has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. But Javed Ansari, as someone who's tracked the party, do you see anything, any hopeful signs for this party at all? Do you believe that the tide can turn, or do you believe that the Congress needs, its best is in the past now? It still lives too much in the past.
Well, all that you say is partly true, but there is still some hope. The intent is there. The intent is there, but you need to be able to put that into practice. You need to be able to affect those changes. Like Sanjay said, there's been no dearth of resolutions in the Congress party. If you pick up this booklet, the history of the Congress is just full of these pious resolutions. But please translate that into action. And who's preventing you?
Maybe it's too tired. Maybe it's too tired. Maybe it's a party of power which cannot deal without being without power for the last 10 years, and therefore doesn't know how to deal with life without power.
Luxury. It doesn't have the luxury of being tired and of being, living in the past. If they want to, if they want to exist, if they want to continue, they need to be able to effect those changes.
You mentioned to me when we were speaking earlier today the 3 C's that the Congress needs. What are those 3 C's?
The Congress needs continuity, it needs conviction, and it needs consistency and clarity.
Okay,
And above
those
all,
are 4
it
C's.
needs
4 C's.
And above all,
Continuity is the one which, is the question mark, because do you believe that the Gandhis alone can run the Congress, Javed Ansari?
well, nobody alone can run it. The Gandhis can be at the helm, but there has to be greater teamwork. And it just doesn't mean that Gandhi is running it with the help of one gentleman.
Okay.
There needs to be the whole. Rahul needs to build a team like Rajiv Gandhi did. He picked these youngsters, not just one youngster. He picked a lot of these people, the Ashok Gehlots, the Ahmed Patels, the Rajesh Pilots, etc., and built a team. That's what Rahul Gandhi has not been able to do.
Okay, I just want to get Rajat Sethi therefore
for the answer to you.
Rajat Sethi for a final word. Is the BJP worried about the Congress, or is the Congress the perfect enemy? When I look at the numbers, the BJP strike rate against the Congress is pretty phenomenal in the last 3 elections. They win almost 80% in two of the last three elections, general elections, 80% in direct contests. Is the Congress at all worried about, is the BJP at all worried about the Congress, or more worried about some new leader emerging from the regional parties or from some other party? Is Rahul Gandhi the perfect enemy?
Well, one thing that you will realize when you speak to a BJP worker on the ground, they're always, worried about the opponent getting a chance. They have greater sort of worry, and they therefore have that mission, that zealousness to work hard on the ground. They perhaps have greater hope that Congress might come in, and therefore I need to work hard than even a average congressman. This is the clear difference. This is why BJP consistently, and it's through its cadres, through its various aspects of engaging the cadres around small micro events,
But also
happens
not allowing a level
here.
playing field. Rajat Sethi, while you valorize the BJP's efforts and organization and resources, there's also a sense the BJP no longer under Shah, Modi allows a level playing field in Indian elections.
See, no politics is a level playing field. Congress has been the Goliath for 7 decades in our country. So they're talking about being this poor David. That story is not going to cut the ice. They have been in power for a fairly fair share amount of time. They have exemplified through whatever they did or didn't do, acts of commission, omission. They have laid before this country what we are. We don't need a test from a Rahul Gandhi to tell, oh no, we are not this, we are something this. See, this is why I'm saying at this day and age, when they need to speak to a youngster like me, they need to have an elevator pitch. Tell me, what is their elevator pitch of their entity, their company? What do they stand for? They can't put it in one line. And this is the challenge before Congress Party. And
I'll give Sanjay Jha who likes one-liners. Give me a one-liner. Beyond anti-Modism. Beyond anti-Modism, what is the one-liner Congress gives as a pitch?
No, Rajdeep.
Come on, Sanjay Jha, come up with a one-line pitch.
Look at their CWC resolution. It's a 10-page resolution. You cannot make head or tail out of that entire resolution. And if you look at it, they are talking about Sardar Patel, a perfect slippery slope on which BJP would love to drag the Congress and every single leader of the Congress that slope.
Your one-liner, Sanjay. I just have time for a one-liner. Rajat, I have time for a one-liner.
Rajdeep, I believe my one-liner is to the Congress supporters, workers, the people watching your program who support the Congress. My one-liner to everyone from the Congress will be, you fought for India's freedom struggle and you defeated the British and brought to the end the British Empire. And now you are losing to Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah? Come on, the Congress can do much better than that.
Okay, let me leave it at that. Rajat Sethi, Sanjay Jha, and Javed Ansari, the Congress always makes for interesting discussion. And maybe observers seem to be more worried about the demise of the Congress at times than the Congress party itself. That's another debate for another day. But I appreciate my guests joining me on the show tonight.